Waste to Water Sports crew, ahoy! And how's everybody doing? Bright and early this Sunday morning, 6 a.m. it is for me here in Brisbane, Australia, but it's going to be so worth it. I'm so excited for this matchup. This is going to be an absolutely amazing game. It usually is when these two teams face each other. Ireland versus the All Blacks. We were talking a little bit about it in the lead up. As the past decade, it really has been Ireland taking the fight to the All Blacks more often than not. Certainly not the dominance that it used to be whenever the All Blacks would go to the Northern Hemisphere and have these tours. So it's good to see. Quite a turnout here at Chicago. I mean, they've packed their stadium. It's not the biggest stadium in the world, but they've packed it out. Lots of support for the All Blacks, lots of support for the Irish. And it should be a good, well, evening for those over there and morning for me here. Why did I have to look that up? Honestly, it's been really bizarre trying to keep tabs of the time. Sleeping early so that I could be up for a 1 a.m. start for the Wallabies versus England, and then having a power nap so that I could be ready for this one. But we're up and about. We're ready for it. I'm just looking at the All Blacks squad, and I'm liking a couple of things. Beauden Barrett back in the number 10 jersey. Even though Beauden has not set the world alight in recent seasons, he's been a little bit off comparatively to when he first sort of broke onto the scene. Damian McKenzie in that number 23. I think that's his best option. I've said a lot of bad stuff about Damian McKenzie over the years, but I think 23, that's his position. Here come the teams out onto the stadium now. Aussie John, ahoy, mate. Nice to see you again. Geordie, ahoy, buddy. As the teams walk side by side out onto the park. Scott Barrett, I was about to get to him. I'm still not sold on Scott Barrett. This is an opportunity for him to lead the way and prove me wrong by having a big game. James Lowe there for Ireland. the expat Kiwi, Geordie Barrett. Some big names here in this contest. Oh, looking forward to it as we get ready for the anthems. And then, of course, the haka. And as we always like to debate and have a guess, which rendition of the haka are they going to be performing? It's actually quite a big deal these days, like I said, when Ireland take on the All Blacks. So perhaps they break out Kapawongo. Aussie John asked why they're playing in Chicago, of all places. Well, it's expansion of the game, right? Expansion of the game globally. I think it's a contest at the moment. Think about the space race, right? I know this is an odd comparison, but just think about what a big deal the space race was, right? Not Australia, geez. America versus Russia. Well, it's kind of like there's a battle going on at the moment. Everybody wants a little piece of that American market, especially the betting market. Funnily enough, I don't have a bet on this game, which is unusual for me, ironically. So, yes, there is a little bit of a race, a little bit of a war between League and Union to get a stranglehold in the American market. I'd say that Union is winning quite comfortably at the moment, but yeah, it's all about keeping the game alive, keeping that footprint alive. And expanding the game. Although, mind you, expanding the game into America probably didn't get a lot of help with that result earlier. Scotland doing an absolute demolition job. I thought about covering that game. Knee crumbler, ahoy, mate. £85 to 0, of course. Scotland with the drubbing of the USA. Knee crumbler, you're chilling with your dweeb, waiting for the All Blacks to smash Ireland. Ooh. I don't know about smash, but yeah, look, I think the All Blacks win this one 1-12. That would be the call here, I'd say. $1,200 to 0, says the knee crumbler. I thought that was reserved for the Warriors, knee crumbler. A nice rendition there of God Defend New Zealand. Nothing like Frankie Stevens, though. Frankie Stevens, one of the best. Barry Murphy performing Ireland's Call. Aussie John says rugby is more international than league can ever hope to be. Yeah, absolutely, Aussie John. We follow both here on the West to Water Sports, of course. But, I mean, that's just a fact, isn't it? That's just a fact. Statistics, they don't lie. You can't hide the numbers, and the numbers tell the story. It'll be a big test. Like, I appreciate what the NRL's trying to achieve with the Vegas round, but it's going to be a real test, isn't it? I mean, it is a wow. It's a really poor lineup. It's a really poor lineup for next season, isn't it? It'll be a big test. Geordie's looking at the broadcast and wondering when has an American ever heard of Harvey Norman? as the All Blacks go into a huddle here, ready to break out the haka. And with this beginning, it is surely Kapawango. Cody Taylor leading the way as they break away into formation now. Here we go. What's it going to be? Traditional? Fundiaki, there's another expat Kiwi, of course, lining up for Ireland. There's Artie Surveyor. Looks like he's ready to go. A very cool, calm and collected looking Irish squad. And there we go, thus confirming Kapawango. Damian McKenzie looks doesn't look threatening at all, little D-Mac. He looks like he's quite enjoying himself. Well, there we go. It used to be Kapawango was reserved for big occasions. Not saying that this is not a big occasion, of course, the game against Ireland. I talked it up, Lord knows. But it used to be reserved for big occasions. Now they seem to break it out fairly often. I would say that this big occasion, though, big occasion. Because they've got a point to prove too, the All Blacks. Chicago was the scene of the crime. Ironically enough, Ireland's first victory over the All Blacks. History was made. Can they get the job done again? Ireland, that is a solid-looking starting lineup. Porter, Sheehan, Furlong, Ryan, Byrne, Bard, Vanderfleer. What a front row. Kickoff moments away. Now Scott Barrett won the toss. So I would expect the All Blacks to have first use of it. Yes, it looks like that's going to happen. Pierre Brousseau, the referee. Now, talking about the referee, my God, the standard of refereeing in that last game, England versus the Wallabies. Goodness me. Surely this guy has to be better. Referee blows the whistle and we are off and running here. First half underway. Ireland versus the All Blacks. Oh, look at that crowd. They just did a wide shot of the stadium. It looks majestic. All Blacks secure the kickoff as dust kicks up off the turf. And Scotty Barrett here sets it up inside the 22. Roygaard calling for more support. Suggests that the box kick is incoming. He takes a few steps. A few steps too many, I would have thought. Gets the clearing kick away, and it's a nice, solid exit up over halfway. And a great start there for the All Blacks. 30 seconds in. A perfect exit. Sheehan with the throw, goes to the middle. Ireland spill it, and it falls for Cody Taylor. He sends a loose ball over into midfield for Savia. And through the hands now, the All Blacks can counter-attack. An early mistake from Ireland after the All Blacks' successful exit. Now Will Jordan takes the line on. Heading to the left edge, he goes to ground. Penalty to the All Blacks. No clear release on the tackle. Take the three. A long way out. Beauden Barrett steps up. And I think this early in the game, they've only got one thought. and that is to put this into touch. 40 meters out, 5 in from the sideline. It certainly was not an easy kick. And they've probably made the right call here. Take advantage of this early mistake from Ireland. Cody Taylor goes deep with the line-out throw. Roygaard with the inside ball to nobody. And it's cleaned up by Fabian Holland, but that was very scrappy there from the All Blacks. 2 minutes gone, no score, but it is the All Blacks on the attack. Parker in midfield. Barrett, Scott Barrett, that is. Sometimes I've got to remember there's like 3 of them. Lakai down the short side, pick and go from Geordie. He's been held up off the deck, now he gets to ground. Roygaard sends it across to Scott Barrett for another charge. Short side, Bowden Barrett has a crack. The Irish defence holding firm. And we've got time off. We've got players down everywhere. Bowden Barrett's down. He's on his haunches. He's up now. He looks very rattled though, Bodie. Oh, and he's back down again. Well, he copped a shoulder to the face there. Well, this could be interesting. This could be worth a look. Now, this was what you would call an injustice. If anything beyond a penalty, at worst, happens here. Because that is a big, tall man that he's run into. They're going to have a look. Referees called for the replay here on the big screen as Scott Barrett's also down. He's getting taped up. It's always... when you've got an upright defender like this, shoulder to the face, he could be in a little bit of trouble. Jeez, and then Gibson Park was also a little upright then when he's come in on Fabian Holland. Well, I think this is going to be at least a penalty. It's not a shoulder charge by any stretch of the imagination. He's just bracing for impact. But he's so upright there. Taj Byrne. So Scott Barrett has left the field. Scotty Barrett, in the meantime, has left the field. And that is clear shoulder contact to the face. That is the, what is it they say? The smoking gun. That camera angle there is the smoking gun. It's going to be a penalty to the All Blacks. But Scott Barrett off the field. Josh Lord is on nice and early. So, well, Scotty Barrett, he didn't get his chance at redemption after all. Artie Savia likely takes over the captaincy. They're still looking at this. How many replays does it take to figure out shoulder contact to the face, unintentional, no malice, penalty? Move on. Scott Barrett there wandering off down the tunnel. And here we come back to the referee for the official decision. Back we come for the penalty. Oh no, the referees have just taken off. They've gone to check out the HIA monitor. So technical difficulties at the stadium. Geordie says. Odd pop it to Hoy, mate. Two minutes 40 gone in this game. No score, but I think we're about to see the first points of the game by way of a penalty goal. This one's a lot closer to the posts, and I should imagine they'll take the three. Okay. So the referees have gone over to the HIA monitor to watch the replay. Captains have been called out. Yellow card threshold has been met. And potentially upgraded to red there as it's on report. Burn with the yellow card. Off to the naughty seat he goes. So, that changes things a little bit, I guess, for the All Blacks. They've put this into the corner. There's Josh Lord on the field for Scott Barrett. One less Barrett for me to worry about with Scotty off the field. Cody Taylor now with the throw, 15 metres out. Here the All Blacks. Taylor goes to the back. Ball secured. And not straight is the call. Ireland will get the scrum feet. So Cody Taylor just fluffing his lines here. 3.5 minutes in. Well, Ireland didn't really compete at the ball there. They did enough in the eyes of the referee. Four minutes gone, no score. Ireland down a man for the next 10 minutes. Good old Nigel Owens. Nigel Owens with some of the best. We miss him. Some of the best calls on the field. Big shove here from the All Blacks, but the ball comes out for Ireland. Gibson Park clears up over halfway. And that is a hell of an exit. Finding touch almost. Oh, All Blacks go quickly. No, they weren't on the mark. They've tried to go quickly, the All Blacks. They haven't heard the whistle. Sending the box kick down into Ireland's half, but no, they took that from in front of the mark, the quick throw. That was an amazing clearing kick. Oh, so what an absolute cluster that last few minutes was. They couldn't get the replay up on the big screen in the stadium. The referees had to eventually wander over to the halfway line and check out the HIA monitor. What a mess. A shambles. 7 minutes left in the bin for Byrne. The All Blacks have it now in midfield. Lackey out the back for Barrett. Barrett gives it to Caleb Clark, who goes straight through a big gap. Caleb Clark now straightens, offloads to Roygaard, who spills it. And a knock-on advantage here for Ireland. But, we come back for a... We're coming all the way back for a penalty to Ireland for an obstruction. So Caleb Clark went through a gaping hole. It was obviously created by that obstruction. Penalty Ireland, and they might very well consider here having a shot at 3. The All Blacks have dominated this opening 6 minutes. They're going to have a shot. That is a common sense decision. Seven minutes gone, a man in the bin. The All Blacks have dominated, and they're about to be trailing in this contest. That's huge. Odd Poppet. You don't have the chat open. You've got a snooker league match tonight. Oh, very cool. Knee Crumbler wants to know if I played Rugby Challenge on PC. Not the most recent one, no. I haven't played the most recent one. Jack Crowley lines up this shot at penalty goal. Ireland to draw first blood. He moves in. He strikes it well. It's got the distance. No worries. It's got the direction. And over it goes. Ireland lead this game 3-0. Jack Crowley with the penalty goal. And after 7.5 minutes of dominance by the All Blacks, it is Ireland who strike first. Back underway. McCloskey takes it and sets it up just inside the 22. 5 in from that far touch. Ireland setting up their exit. Gibson Park wants another ruck. Now he goes in to dig it out. Tadia Godwin, ahoy! Gibson Park with the box kick. Sends it up towards halfway again. And another good purchase on that from Gibson Park. Turning the All Blacks around and back on the halfway line. All Blacks go quickly. Knocked on by Ireland at line-out time. Advantage to the All Blacks. Savvy up. Drives up to halfway. Gets some bodies in behind him in support. Told to use it. Bodie onto Quinn Tupaia. Geordie Barrett goes in now. And here's Bowden. Cut out pass for Clark. Clark's in open space this time. Perfectly legally on this occasion. But Ireland ripped the ball away as Clark is a little isolated. James Lowe has it now. Caleb Clark getting isolated, not able to skewer possession. 9 minutes in, Ireland are controlling this yellow card period. For those just joining in, early yellow card as Crowley with the crossfield kick. And he overcooks it. It goes out on the full. The All Blacks will come all the way back here, just outside the 22 for a line-out throw. And I think the yellow card will stay yellow. It would be one of the most harsh red cards I've ever seen in my life if it gets upgraded. Here we go anyway. They're about to make the call. This could not possibly be. Oh! One of the most insane calls I've ever seen. Byrne has been upgraded to a red, and that's his day done. Oh, that is harsh. That is a harsh card. I don't understand how they've come to that decision. Penalty to Ireland as play goes on. But that will be the talking point of this game, unfortunately. A red card. I cannot believe that. We've seen more malicious things go unpunished entirely. As Ireland fail to find touch. Great effort there at the back by Carter to keep the ball in field. Bowden Barrett now kicks and chases. Was he taken out? No. Ireland back in possession on the halfway line. 3-0. Ireland lead, but a red card to Byrne. Crowley kicks downfield. It's going to go inside the 22, where Will Jordan can take the mark. Nice and easily. Wow. Will Jordan sends this one up towards the halfway line. Sheehan with the throw. Now they can replace that man, of course. Byrne. He's copped a red card, but he can be replaced after 20 minutes, I believe. Sheehan with the throw. Goes to the front, uncontested ball. Rolling more set, but they break away. Van der Fleer sends it into midfield where McCloskey barrels onto it. The crash ball. Gibson Park now puts the box kick up. It's a little too heavy, but they get through and compete. It sits up for Geordie Barrett. Knock on against Ireland, and we'll have a scrum down. Oh, Geordie Barrett's down now. It is not a good night to be a Barrett. Geordie Barrett screaming, writhing in pain on the ground, clutching at his head. It's not his head that's the issue, by the way. It looks like it's his shin. Scott Barrett's already left the field in the second minute. Bowden Barrett copped the shoulder to the face, and now Geordie's broken. Not a good night for the Barretts, that's for sure. Maga Maori Cuzzy, ahoy there. What's good? Can't stand Justin Marshall. Bro is treacherous. Shouldn't be a red. Welcome along, Maga Maori Cuzzy. Can I call you MMC for short? MMC. Welcome along. That's usually how we get people here at the Waste of World of Sports. Oh, there's a bruise. Well, my God. Okay, Geordie Barrett's knee is bruised. Visibly bruised. Now, that is swollen up very, very quickly. To see almost immediate bruising like that. Wow, he copped a knock and a half then, didn't he? As we have another injury stoppage here. Geordie Barrett, obviously the one getting the attention. 12 minutes gone. Ireland lead 3 points to 0. But yes, as I was saying, that's usually how people discover us here at the Waste of World of Sports, is some sort of gripe with the TV commentators. Tanya Godwin, you watched a video on feeding the All Blacks. Geez, they eat well. Yeah, right. That would actually be a... I'll have to look that up. I'm assuming that was on YouTube. I wouldn't mind seeing that. What's in the diet of the All Blacks? It's all very well controlled too. I can tell you that. From my playing days, which were nowhere near as professional as this, as what we get now, and I certainly didn't play it at any top level, but we had a pretty strict, like, you could only eat certain times of the day, that sort of thing, on game days or the night before. Geordie Barrett looks like he's getting taped up and he's going to push on. Boy, I saw a close-up of that bruise, and that was a hell of a whack. Scrum down. All Blacks with the feed. Cam Roigard. Cam Roigard with another good performance here in this one. Could make that number 9 jersey his own if he hasn't already. Penalty here for an illegal wheel. And that's a reliever for the All Blacks. Furlong, the guilty party, not pushing straight. And the All Blacks fine touch up over halfway. Yeah, the All Blacks have been looking for an answer at 9, obviously, since Aaron Smith. Taylor throws to the back. Did he get that one straight? Doesn't matter. No contest for the ball. 40 metres out from the line now in midfield. Roygaard digs it out. Sends it right. Lakai out the back for Bowden. Bowden, quick hands to Jordan. Jordan sends Carter into open space. Carter tries to lay it back in field as he flirts with the sideline. But Ireland are happy to show him the side, and over he goes. 3 points to 0, 13 minutes gone. Ireland in the lead. They've only really had one opportunity, Ireland, and they took advantage of it via a penalty goal. The All Blacks, multiple opportunities, nothing to show for it just yet. ARW, ahoy mates. Throw to the front of the line out, secured there by Conan. Now breaking away off the back of the ruck, Ireland. Bring it outside of their red zone. Gibson Park will look to clear. Can't put it out on the full, of course, so he just sends it high. Contestable ball going to land just short of halfway. James Lowe bats it back. Ireland regain possession. Down the short side, Gibson Park with a nice short ball. Staying on short side again. They've got 3 on 2. Crowley gets the ball free. Bumping off one. Bumping off a second. Inside ball for Conan. And this is good hands from Ireland down the tram lines. James Lowe now in at first receiver. The All Blacks are offside. Penalty goes to Ireland. Gibson Park takes offence to Cody Taylor coming through. And little Jamison Gibson Park is going to have a crack at Cody Taylor, is he? Well, I'd like to see that. But frustration, perhaps, from the All Blacks. 15 minutes gone. They dominated the early stages of the game, but they have nothing to show for it. Crowley's going to put this into the corner, and Ireland will go on the attack again. It was another opportunity at 3. They've turned it down. They want more. Stephen Inglis, ahoy, mate. On the better beers today. Only middies. Taking it easy today, you know. I mean, it is 6 a.m. after all. I take it easy sometimes. Big call, this one for Ireland. Turning down the 3. And they have a 5-meter line-out throw. Goes to the middle. It's sloppy, but they come down with it. McCloskey now. 7 meters out. James Lowe has a crack. The All Blacks short on troops over on the left, but Ireland come back into midfield. Van der Fleer. Conan. Inside the 5. Gibson Park. Cut out pass to McCloskey. McCloskey almost in open space. Gibson Park to the crash ball. Try is scored. And it's Taj Furlong. The big number 3 on the crash ball. Ireland have taken the risk. Red card, don't forget. They're playing a man down still. And that's a huge try. Massive, massive moment. Furlong scores. 8 points to 0 with the kick to come. Oh, Ireland are up for this. Ireland are up for this. Crowley with a relatively simple conversion attempt. Pops it over and makes it 10 points to 0. Ireland survived that early onslaught. No damage done. And they've got themselves a comfy little lead here. You would have to say largely against the run of play. 17 minutes gone in the first half. Bowden gets us back underway, sends it deep. Claimed by Ireland. McCloskey, who has it, sets it up inside the 22. a little hint of panic here. Like there's a difference between aggression and panic. What I'm seeing at the moment from the All Blacks defense is panic as Gibson Park with the box kick clearance. 10 short of halfway. 18 minutes gone. 10-0. Ireland playing an impressive style here. Nothing fancy schmancy about it. Just after that early mistake, they've really buckled down. Cody Taylor now with the throw. 18 minutes gone. Goes quick to the front for Adi Savia. Wasn't really expecting it, I don't think. There's an advantage to the All Blacks, though. Referee signaling with the arm there. Tupai out the back. It goes for Bowden. Bowden sends it on. And now some space for Will Jordan. Jordan steps back in field. Does he have the pace? He's brought down from behind. Roygaard now sends it out to the right. Numbers out the wazoo. 72-1. They surely score here, the All Blacks. Adi Savia for the corner. And he plants it down. So push and shove in back players. Tempers flare again. But Adi Savia has crossed the line. The All Blacks hit back. Off the back of the break by Will Jordan. A nice offload. That's what started it, actually. Leicester got the offload. Jordan in space, angling back in field. And then it was just a numbers game. What a try, that one from the All Blacks. Bodie from the sideline with the conversion attempt. It's on target. It's holding its line. It's got the distance. And a crucial 2 points. 10 points to 7. ARW, you'd love to see Pappenhausen go have a crack with the Crusaders and become a sponge, get stuck in with the greatest, then head off to R360. I dare say he wouldn't get a whole lot of game time at the Crusaders, would he? As Bowden Barrett now takes the kickoff, immediately clears. Doesn't quite make the halfway line. Certainly a great system to be part of, though. If he was happy to sit on the sidelines and just sit under the learning tree, so to speak, as Ireland secure their line-out ball and put this one high in midfield. Contestable. The ball's ripped away from Barrett, and it falls for Ireland, who goes straight back on the attack now. 22 metres out midfield. Gibson Park digs it out. Puts the kick over the top. Charged down by Lakai. Lakai toes it through. And it's going to beat everybody into touch, I think. No, scooped up by Ireland. And this will be a line-out throw to the All Blacks. No, it's going to be a penalty to Ireland. Diving on the prone player is what happened there. You, of course, cannot dive on a player on the ground. Just a little bit of inexperience there from the All Blacks. Number 8, Peter Lakai. Did all the hard work, got the charge down, put the toe through, but then he undid it all by diving on the prone player. "22 minutes gone in this opening half. 10 points to 7. As Crowley, with a nice touch finder, turns the All Blacks around almost to their own 22. Attacking line out throw for Ireland. Sheehan with the throw. To the middle and not straight. That's one each as the All Blacks compete. "23 minutes gone, 10 points to 7. Henderson's on the field, so Ireland back to a full complement. Burns' night is done with the red card, but Henderson is now on. It's 15 on 15 again. Quarter of a way through this game. The All Blacks still dominating territory and possession, but finding themselves behind on the scoreboard. ARW Scotland certainly did give the USA a flogging. Free kick here to the All Blacks early engagement. So the scrum doesn't even get a chance to pack. Barrett puts it high. Contestable ball on halfway. Well taken at the back there by Jamie Osborne. Golden Banjo DJ, can't believe that was a red. I know, right? Crazy. Crazy times. Crowley puts the ball high. It veers off towards the sideline where James Lowe spills it into touch. The All Blacks go quickly. Beauden Barrett steps back down the short side, trying to link up with Leicester. Lackey in midfield, taken down. Roygaard sends it left. Quinn Tupaia looking for options, gets the offload. Short side. Leicester. I'm just going to call him Leicester, because by the time I figure out the pronunciation, the ball's already moved on. Leicester Fayanganuku. Yeah, I'll just call him Leicester. Roygaard controls it at the back and sends the box kick up over halfway. Another contestable ball. Caleb Clark gets up and makes a nuisance of himself, but it still falls for Ireland, who are now guilty of holding on. Quinn Tupaia in over the top, forcing the turnover. And here, well, they could have a shot at 3 here if they want. 45 meters out. No thought of it. No thought of it at all. Beauden Barrett goes straight for the sideline. I thought they might have had a shot at 3, level the scores up. Golden Banjo, you missed my thoughts. Missed my thoughts on it. What do I think? Well, it was an obvious penalty. The obligation is on the tackler to get down low enough. He made no attempt. Is this line out stolen by Ireland? Tommy O'Brien comes away with it. Gets himself back into the field of play, but they're trapped inside their own 5-meter line. Gibson Park setting up the box kick, sends it away upfield. A missed opportunity there for the All Blacks. It's another majestic kick from Gibson Park. Oh, Jamison Gibson Park, his exits tonight. My goodness. Those clearing kicks have been an absolute thing of beauty. Leicester Fayanganuku. Fayanganuku. I'm just going to call him Leicester for the time being. I hope that's okay. I apologize. It took me the longest time before I could say Tino for Asua Malawi. And years before I could say Nawanga Nitawase. I'll get there. The more that he plays, the more I'll get there. Leicester Fayanganuku. Mr. Kiwi for life says use your vowels for all Polynesian names. Scrum sets on halfway here. Gibson Park feeds. Islander back in possession. Oh, another good carry. Forcing the All Blacks backwards. Gibson Park secures the loose ball. Fires it over the top here for Bard. And they're 40 metres out from the line, Island. Back on the attack. Furlong in midfield, the try scorer. McCloskey with another carry. He's been heavily involved, the number 12. Back down the short side, Van der Fleer takes it inside the 40. The All Blacks are numbered up over on the left, so straightening the attack here, Henderson. McCloskey out the back for Crowley, well read there by Jordan. Jordan now in over the top, trying to turn this one over. Ball was out, so it's play on, but Island still have it. Scooped up by that man again, I think, Gibson Park. And McCloskey, two of the big performers for Ireland so far. Here's James Lowe in midfield. Beats the first tackle of Fletcher Newell. Pick and go from Bart. Luckeyes in over the top of this. Can't steal it away. Gibson Park almost spills it as he has a dart from the base of the ruck. Ryan crawls forward an extra couple of meters. They're just outside the 22 here, Ireland, in midfield. Crowley kicks in behind the line. Nobody at home here for the All Blacks. Beauden Barrett scurries back. Balls of steel as he lets it dribble over the goal line. And he plants it down for the goal line dropout. "29 minutes gone, 10 points to 7. And a HIA for Simon Parker. 10 to go until half-time. And Ireland have just started to gain some sort of ascendancy here as Beauden Barrett goes short with the restart. And it's claimed by Caleb Clark, flying through the air. Roygaard sends it back for Beauden Barrett to clear. Sends it upfield. Turns the Irish defence around. Crowley takes it on the full. Runs it back to halfway. Puts it up for himself. Chasing his own kick. Jordan takes it. The All Blacks very secure under the high ball on that occasion. Jordan with some quick hands in midfield. Out to Beauden Barrett, who clears. Space in behind Ireland here. Needing this one to sit up in the field of play. And Lowe takes it a couple of meters out from the try line. Drops it onto that left boot. And keeps it in the field of play. A nice kick return. Jordan steps off the left. Beats the first tackler. And the All Blacks go to ground now. Just outside the 40. Beauden Barrett flicks it out the back for Roygaard. And Roygaard turns and kicks in behind the line. Bounces it into touch. Just outside the 22. And I dare say, maybe, even though they're a little bit further upfield, maybe a net result here for Ireland, who won't be too displeased that we're wandering over to a line out here. The Knee Crumbler says Lowe and Damien McKenzie were an awesome duo for the Chiefs. ARW, anyone else miss Big Tony Woodcock and Andrew Hoare? Two absolute blokes of the game. Yes. I'll tell you who else I miss. Big Bad Brody Retallick. What an absolute beast. As Ireland secure their own line-out ball here inside the red zone. And Gibson Park looking for another one of those monster clearing kicks. This time he gets it a little low and it deflects off the head of one of the All Blacks, who were offside. Penalty to Ireland. So there you go. Maybe he did it on purpose. It was too flat, the kick. And I've got a feeling, since he kicked it into the face of the player who ultimately got pinged for offside, that maybe, just maybe, it was a purpose decision. ARW wants to know, was today the first time England and Australia faced each other on the same day in both union and league? Quite possibly so. It's certainly the first time that I was aware of it happening, put it that way. Crowley with the touch finder, sending it up towards the halfway mark. Yes, Tania Godwin, the early stages. Next step will, of course, be to get the official timer back up and running. 7 minutes to go. 7 to go till the halftime break. So, yeah, that will be the next step. So we've got time off here. As some discussion around who's actually coming off the field. And it is the number 6, Ryan Bart. Oh, no, he's going back on. He just came over. There was some water on the sideline. He just wanted a drink. Freon, shout out to Hoy Mate. Welcome along. Okay, we've figured it out. James Ryan, the number 4. He's leaving the field for Ireland. A lot of confusion as to who was actually supposed to come off the field there. So 7 minutes to go until the halftime break. Ireland leading by 3. Bundyaki is the number 23. So, yeah, he'll get some game time in the second half, no doubt. Sheehan with the throw, goes to the middle. All Blacks compete, but it's a great throw. Ireland come down with it and into midfield. A good charge there. Straight onto the field and straight onto the action is Doris. Gibson Park with the box kick. Batted back by Ireland. Lost forward by the All Blacks. Through the hands now. Crowley looks to cut out pass, but McCloskey keeps it in tight. Will come back for the knock on. So, yes, Bundyaki and the number 23. Look for him in the second half, I'm sure. Stuart McCloskey. Have Ireland found another bulldozing number 12? He's certainly playing well so far in this opening half. They crouch. Ireland with the scrum feet. And sets. Gibson Park with the feed. Solid foundation to work with here. Crowley out the back to nobody. It's loose. James Lowe scurries back to collect it and puts the kick in. It's going to sit up, is it? No, it goes dead. We'll come all the way back for another scrum. All Blacks will get the feed just short of halfway. Yeah, good luck, Odd Poppet. Enjoy your match, mate. Hope it all goes well for you, buddy. Five minutes to go till the halftime break. Opportunity here for the All Blacks. If they can get the scrum right, they can send themselves back down into Ireland's territory and look to build. They crouch, bind, and a free kick to Ireland for the early engagement. Free kick to Ireland. And they are going to finish this half, it looks like, on top. Scarecrow, ahoy, mate. Didn't get a multi on for this one, unfortunately. As the free kick is a little too heavy and an easy take for Will Jordan inside the 22, claiming the mark. Jordan goes quickly, sends it up over halfway, keeps it in the field of play. Osborne now kicks for the opposite corner. And it's taken by... Oh, Barrett nearly makes a complete mess of this. He's only just claimed the mark. Beauden Barrett was headed towards the sideline, realized he hadn't claimed the mark yet, and he just puts his hand up to claim it. Lucky. But what he's done in the process, he's left himself very little angle to work with. Here's the replay. Catches it. Whoops, I've got to mark it yet. Lucky to get away with that one. Three minutes to go in the first half. Sheehan. Another attacking line-out throw here for Ireland. Decoys at the front. They go to the middle, and the All Blacks spoil. And I am De Groot has it. All Blacks ball. Roigard to Lakai. Beauden Barrett now to Pai. Here's Lester. Slow ruck ball. Roigard to Beauden. Out the back is Jordan. Cut out pass. Hits the chest of Clark. And Clark gets all tangled up in his own players. Not for the first time tonight. But no obstruction call this time as no break is made. Savia tackled in midfield. Roigard to Pai. 2 minutes left in this opening half. Savia goes again. Starting to get very heavily involved there, Artie. Roigard to Jordan. Flat pass at best there for De Groot. And Roigard now says, let's get out of here. Sends the box kick up. Caleb Clark chases through and puts the hit on Osborne. Or Tommy O'Brien, sorry. The number 14. That was big contact. Low in midfield with the pop pass for Conan. Conan puts the fend on. It's back with Lowe. Gibson Park down the left edge. McCloskey with the forward pass. Flicks it into touch. And the All Blacks scramble. They go quickly with the line-out throw. No, referee blows the whistle and says, we'll come back. Well, what's he found here? The referee wants to have a look at something. Oh, the hit from Caleb Clark, I think. He wants to have a look at that hit from Caleb Clark. It was a monster. And they just want to check and make sure it wasn't high. So neither team really able to get going here. Let's have a look at this. This will be interesting. Oh, yeah. Caleb Clark. Forearm around the face there of Tommy O'Brien. Now this will be interesting. Just a penalty. There you go, just a penalty. Crowley with the touch finder. Sends it into touch just inside All Blacks territory. 30 seconds to go until the halftime break. Ken Island gets some more points. Ball is stolen at line-out time again here by the All Blacks. Lakai onto Barrett. Barrett with the cutout pass for Tupai. Flick pass goes to ground. Jordan scurries back, gives it off to Carter. And Leroy Carter thumps this one upfield. An easy take for Osborne at the back, who now returns serve. He finds touch. 10 the All Blacks side of halfway, but that will be the break. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's it. Halftime break. 10 points to 7. Ireland, you would have to say, largely against the run of play that they built their lead, but by the end of that first half, a very deserving lead. You would also have to say 10 points to 7, leading by 3. Can they keep it up in the second half? I'm going to have a quick break myself here on the Wasted World of Sports. Thank you so much for being with us for that opening half. Second half, when we come back, if you've enjoyed hanging out with us here, do feel free to like and subscribe, because apparently it helps. Apparently that's what we do. I don't know. All right. Quick break here for halftime, and we'll be right back. 10 points to 7. Can Ireland go on with it and create more history here against the All Blacks? Just restarting the music. Oh, I better make sure I'm fully stocked for the second half as well. All right. Halftime here, West of World of Sports. Ireland versus the All Blacks. Ireland leading 10 points to 7 at the halftime break. ARW says, anyone watch Counties in early 2010s? A gun team. Bundy Archie. Hard to believe that Bundy Archie's been around for that long, right? Fascinating. So, the game started well for the All Blacks. There was a nice early exit after the kickoff, a mistake from Ireland, and it looked like it was going to be a long old afternoon for the Irish, but they certainly tightened things up after that. Some injury concerns for the All Blacks. Scott Barrett left the field in the 2nd minute. Geordie Barrett left in the 17th minute. So it's certainly not been a good day to be a Barrett. Beauden Barrett, of course, copped the high shot that ultimately led to the red card. The red card, we can debate about it all we want, but the fact of the matter is it was given. You'd say that Ireland finished the stronger of the two teams. Probably could have had some more points. Well, both teams have been guilty of turning down shots at goal, so they both could have had some more points. Geordie says that example is why we need a 20-minute red card. Yeah, and exactly right. Like, the 20-minute red card is essentially saying, look, we have to do it for player safety. But you can bring somebody else on. ARW says All Blacks have been the benchmark of union for 100 years. It's bittersweet to see teams able to beat them so regularly over the last 8 years or so. Glad I'm not an All Black fanatic or open spewing. Yeah, I think it's just, honestly, it's a testament to the quality of world rugby at the moment. And also, the All Blacks have had some generational teams. Let's not forget that. I mean, Richie McCaw, Dan Carter, Aaron Smith, Martin Nonu, Conrad Smith, Ben Smith. Nobody was beating that team, right? That's just the players I mentioned. I mean, you had also Retallick, who I was talking about earlier. Andrew Hoare, who came up in conversation. Tony Woodcock. These were generational talents that all sort of came through at once. So, yes, there is a little bit of the All Blacks have come back to the pack, but also the packs have grown. Other teams have gotten better. And we have got a really, really competitive sort of, what would you say, top 8, top 10? Probably looking the strongest that it has for a very long time. It'll be a very good time for a World Cup. Let's put it that way. ARW says, amazing to see other countries catch up and even surpass New Zealand some years. Feel the All Blacks reached their peak and are just declining or floating around while others are getting better and better. And I've also had my 2 cents on the coaching. I was so excited for Scotty Razor to come in and take the reins, but tell you what, I don't think he's really. He certainly hasn't lived up to expectations for me so far. Geordie with the super chat. Cheers, mate. Very much appreciate that. See, normally when coaches take over, they kind of put the cleaners through a little bit, implement some of their own guys, some of their project players. A lot of their own ideas start to come into play. I feel like when Scott Razor Robinson took over this squad, that he didn't really. I don't think he really. Whether it was he felt comfortable, I don't know. I can't speak for him. But I don't think he really changed all that much. He didn't want to go for mass change. He kind of tried to filter it in bit by bit by bit, and it didn't quite work. Piece by piece, element by element. Sometimes you just need to break the walls down and start again from a fresh foundation. And I feel like that's what he needed to do. Because there's just a little bit of it's a little bit of a mishmash, I would say, this All Blacks team at the moment. There's a little bit of a let me try that again. A little bit of a mishmash of what Fozzie had inherited with what Razor's trying to achieve, and they just get in the way of each other at the moment. That's the way I feel like it's coming across. Geordie with another super chat. Cheers, mate. Very much appreciate the support. Tonga or New Zealand? I think that this current New Zealand squad would have to win, right? Talking about the Rugby League International. I can't see an upset on the cards. Second half will be underway momentarily. Ireland holding on to that slender 3-point lead here. Can they go on with the job? They've built into this game a lot nicer than the All Blacks have. That's for sure. They got off to a slow start, Ireland, but that was kind of to be expected. Some of these guys haven't played a lot of rugby, whereas the All Blacks are a little more battle-hardened. You feel like they might have just missed their they might have missed the chance here. They might have missed the jump. Ireland, you feel, oh, just look at the confidence in the changing rooms. That is a unified Irish outfit. Oh, yeah. I believe. Seeing those scenes from the changing rooms, I believe. And it looks like they do as well. They also believe. Oh, this is going to be a big second half. Big second half. Satiti's on. He's come on to replace Simon Parker. The All Blacks are in a huddle as Ireland run out onto the field, full of confidence. Am I doing Tonga versus New Zealand? What time's that on? Probably not, mate. I'm exhausted after this morning of... If it's on at like, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, geez, that'll be tight. I don't think so. We'll play that one by ear. We'll see how I feel after my nap after this game. Second half about to get underway. All Blacks with the kickoff. Referee blows the whistle and we're off and running. Bodie gets us started, sends it deep into the 22, where McCloskey takes it and he's met hard in the tackle. Ireland do well here to secure possession. Gibson Park now controlling it at the back. And another solid exit there from Gibson Park, though. Oh, yes. Up towards the halfway mark. Gibson Park has been near perfect tonight. Cody Taylor finds his target in the middle. Roygaard over to Carter. Carter spins out of one, takes it inside Ireland's half. Lakai settles things in midfield. Roygaard sends it left here for Taylor. Back into midfield. Newell lays it back. Oh, and it's been lost by Leicester. Drops it cold. And we'll have a scrum down here. Ireland feed. It's just not clicking here for the All Blacks. I'm going to try again. Leicester. Fa'aianuku. Leicester. Fa'aianuku. I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying until I get it right. Oh, second half too, by the way. I need to update my scoreboard. As the scrum sets and now collapses. And we'll have a reset. Ireland with the feed. 2 minutes into the second half. Ireland leading by 3. They crouch. Bind. And set. Gibson Park feeds it. And another strong scrum here from Ireland. Gibson Park now breaks away. He's got Crowley. Crowley dummies. And goes to ground just outside the 22. Slick hands here from Ireland. Back into midfield. Porter lays it back. Down the short side. Bards beats one. Still going. He's close to the sideline here. The big man does well to force his way back in field. Porter to Crowley. The crash ball for Van der Fleer. It's loose out the back, but still there for Ireland. McCloskey dummies. He'll take on the line. Inside the 22 they go. Crowley with the little grubber kick in behind. Jordan sweeping across, scoops it up and scurries the kick away. James Lowe takes it, backtracking. Now he kicks into the 22. Lowe chasing through to put pressure on Roygaard, who spins, pivots, kicks it into touch with not a whole lot of distance made. And Ireland will get the line-out throw still inside the 22. Four minutes gone here in the second half. Ireland are starting to put on a clinic. Oh, the All Blacks are in big danger here. Big danger. This is an Irish squad. United. They believe. Sheehan throws to the front and they secure the ball. Sheehan wraps around. Gives it to Lowe. Lowe with the double pump. And delayed pass for Ringrose. Stolen by Adi Savia. And back it goes for Bowden to clear. What a big moment that was. Adi Savia. Huge turnover. Potentially massive moment. Ireland have the line-out throw, but they're all the way back to halfway. Sheehan goes to the back, and the All Blacks get up and pilfer. Roygaard sends it into midfield. Lackey, they send it on left, immediately stretching it. Jordan, the pass goes out the back of Caleb Clark, and he spills it. The idea was right, but the execution, again, lacking. Scrum down here for Ireland. And I say once again, it is just not happening for the All Blacks. Bobby, ahoy, mates. Yes, Artie with the only try, scoring it in the first half. The only try for the All Blacks, that is. Yes, scoring that in the first half. Oh, did he score first? No. He was the first try scorer for the All Blacks, but Ireland scored the first try. Sorry, my bad. Lazar, good morning. Scrum on halfway. Sets. Gibson Park feeds. Ireland under pressure here. Get the ball out. And into midfield. McCloskey. Penalty advantage. No advantage played. And it's a penalty to Ireland. Now this is kickable. The All Blacks caught offside. And this is kickable. .45 meters out. About 15 to the right of post, and they are going to have a shot here. Ireland looking for points. Crowley lining up this shot. Seven and a half minutes gone in the second half. Ireland looking to extend. 46 meters on the angle. Taking his time. He moves in, strikes. It's on target. It's hooking, though. It's hooking. It holds its line. Not enough. He's missed it off to the left. 10 points to 7 it remains. All Blacks will have the 22-meter restart. And onto the field comes Tamati Williams, replacing Ethan de Groot. 8 gone in the second half. No change to that halftime score. 10 points to 7. Ireland lead. Now, surprisingly low-scoring games. The first weekend here of the 2025 Northern Tours. England and Wallabies was a low scorer. This one is set up to be a low scorer. Is Ireland have it on halfway? Gibson Park sends it back for Crowley. Crowley kicks it into the 22, taken by Barrett. Barrett, return serve. Gets a nice angle on this one and pops it into touch just outside the 22. Ireland will have a defensive line-out throw here. Nine minutes gone in the second half. Sheehan throws to the front, and they've secured their ball here, Ireland. Thunderflare off to Conan. Conan put on his back. Told to use it. Gibson Park will surely exit here. Gets the box kick away. And it's another nice one. Contestable. Oh, James Lowe plucks it out of the air. Lays it back. Front foot ball now for Ireland. And, thinking about kicking there was Crowley, but he straightens the attack. Ringrose has a go. Bard in midfield. Here's Porter, driven back in a two-man tackle to Marty Williams there, fresh on the field. Makes a big hit, and a penalty to Ireland as the All Blacks now back chat, and he marches them 10 meters. And Cody Taylor is still having words with the referee. They might get marched another 10 here. Now, this is an absolute gift of a three-pointer. And they are just not... Here's the last 5 penalties. 4 of them have gone against the All Blacks. Tanya Godwin, you got told by a Scott today, talking about this match, that's a dodgy game. He meant show game, but to a Scott, it's dodgy. This should be a simple kick here for Crowley. Look at that. I've already put the points up. 13 points to 7 as Crowley puts the penalty goal over. Ireland well on top here. All Blacks have come down with it from the restart. They've got an opportunity here. Barrett, quick hands. Carter down the right edge. Can't get through James Lowe. Flat pass there from Fletcher Newell, and it's spilt forward. Here come Ireland away with it. Execution letting the All Blacks down again. The kick is a nice one. It's going to sit up in the All Blacks 22. Bowden's back there. And he kicks it into touch. 10 on Ireland's side of halfway. Lowe goes quickly for Crowley in midfield. Kicks over the top for Jordan. Jordan gets away from Crowley. But he's brought down from behind, just short of halfway. Lord to Bowden Barrett. Now Clark with a hospital pass. Bumps off the tackle, though. Lester with the pick and go. Now the kick in behind. Can't get it in behind Lowe, actually, who takes it on the full. And James Lowe, that left boot, well, it's been allowed to bounce by Will Jordan. Going to sit up 5 minutes. He could have easily taken that on the full. Gives it to Bowden Barrett under pressure. And I tell you what, the All Blacks, what's going on here? Relatively easy take on the full it should have been. And that's a net gain for Ireland. That ball was absolutely allowed to bounce. Very bizarre, very bizarre. Sheehan with the line out throw. Taken by Van der Fleer. Sheehan's got it at the back. Down the short side, Gibson Park. Shown the sideline, pops it back in field for Lowe, and Lowe is carried over. Well defended there by the All Blacks. $13 points to 7, 54 minutes gone. Running out of time. Not looking likely either. The All Blacks, Ireland have been up for this. We saw the scenes in the halftime sheds. a very determined and united looking Ireland. Scrum down. All Blacks with the feed. And it's Porter on this near side, angling in. We have a reset. Scrum reset. One of the more fun parts of the game. It's all right when you're actually playing. As the Irish supporters in the crowd, boy, they're pumped up. Loving life at the moment as their team is well on top. Scrum feed this time. Roigard has it at the back. It collapses. Penalty advantage here to the All Blacks. And the referee blows the whistle, gives the penalty. The front row collapsing. And here comes Bundyaki. For those wondering in the chat room if Bundy was playing today, here he comes. Onto the field. Big bad Bundyaki. Beauden Barrett finds touch off that penalty. 10 metres inside Ireland's half. And Bundyaki on for McCloskey. Now that's an interesting change. McCloskey's been one of Ireland's best. Big throw here for Cody Taylor. 40 out from the line, the All Blacks. They need to secure possession here. Taylor takes an eternity to get this in, and it's been easily read by Ireland, who steal it at the front. Furlong controls it. Now James Ryan back on the field. With a settler in Gibson Park. He'll get it out of here. He's been kicking well. Another box kick. This time, trying to keep it competitive for James Lowe. But what a take from Leroy Carter on halfway. All Blacks back in possession. Larkai. Pop pass up for Artie Salvia in midfield. Roigard sends it left. Beauden to Jordan. Carter wrapping around the back. Gets the offload for Clark. Clark goes to ground. 40 out from Ireland's line. And it's been lost by Will Jordan. Cam Roigard holds the pass up. And Jordan spills it. Frustration building here for the All Blacks. As absolutely nothing is gelling for them. Manuel Snow, ahoy, mate. Manuel Snow says, no surprise, Ireland all day, every day. We cannot win against Northern Hemisphere, against the Six Nations team. We've lost the last couple of years in a row. .58.5 minutes gone in this one. Still plenty of time, but things are just not gelling for the All Blacks at all. And a penalty, full arm here. The referee's had enough of the early engagements. And it's not a free kick this time, it's a full arm. Penalty to Ireland. Crowley with the touch finder. They're about 30 metres out from the line. As Wallace Satiti, on he comes again. Satiti was on earlier for a HIA. This time it's a straight replacement. Simon Parker leaving the field. And also off the field, Didn't quite see who that was. We'll get an update on that. Ireland secure their line-out ball. 30 metres out in midfield. Gibson Park stays left. Crowley. Nice ball for Osborne. He can't hold on, though. And Will Jordan comes away with it. Puts a low, flat kick in. Up over halfway. Bouncing awkwardly at the back here. But Crowley puts a good step on. But he's caught. The chase from Fabian Holland. Quinn Tupai's in over the top of this one. And it's a turnover penalty. All Blacks ball. Amazing effort there from Quinn Tupai. They're still in this, the All Blacks, somehow. And a nice touch finder into the corner. The All Blacks have an attacking line out. Fabian Holland. It was his tackle that started it. Big throw this one. Cody Taylor. 7 meters out from the line. Taylor goes to the front. They've got the ball. The All Blacks rolling maul is set. Taylor's got it at the back. It's gone nowhere so far. They've got a penalty advantage. Well diffused there by Ireland. As Beauden Barrett now hit hard by Ringrose and driven backwards. Still playing under penalty advantage. We come back. And actually, referee says time off. Is he going to the pocket? They're going to have a look. Are Ireland about to lose another player? The penalty initially for joining the maul incorrectly, but now we're having a look at a shoulder charge, potentially. A no-arms tackle. Whoops. No-arms tackle. Yeah, he hasn't wrapped. And that is the penalty that's going to be awarded, joining the maul incorrectly. So no foul play was determined. We come back for the line-out infringement. And the All Blacks will put this into the corner and they'll try again. Now they got no ascendancy whatsoever from the last rolling maul. As a matter of fact, they're going to bypass it completely. Cody Taylor taps and goes. Pops it up for Satiti. Satiti, centimeters short. Tamati Williams with the pick and go. And Tamati Williams scores. Well, they knocked back the opportunity for the line-out throw. I mean, honestly, the line-out was so easily diffused by Ireland last time. You can understand why they've made this decision. They tap and go. And Tamati Williams comes up with it. 13 points to 12. The kick to come from right beside the posts. The All Blacks. They are a conversion kick away here from taking the lead. Huge. Beauden Barrett with the conversion attempt from right beside the sticks. 14 points to 13. Vanilla latte. Ahoy there. Let's go All Blacks. 62 minutes gone. And the All Blacks take the lead for the first time in the match. Ireland almost put this one out on the full. Well, Will Jordan, he is having a hard time judging the ball in the air tonight. All he needed to do was pop his foot over the sideline, and that would have been out on the full. All Blacks have it, though. Roygaard told to use it. Sends the box kick up. Deflects off the hands of Ireland. It's loose on the deck. Picked up here by Ringrose. And Ringrose needs to get it to ground. Does. 25 out in midfield. Crowley to Aki. Aki onto Osborne. Osborne looks to put the fend on, but he's brought down right on the brink of the 22 here, Ireland, as they look to reclaim the lead. Osborne with quick hands. Some space down the left edge here for Lowe. One-on-one tackle by Bowden Barrett. A good one. Ireland still have it outside the 22. Beelum. Taken back in the tackle. Gibson Park now digs it out, sends it into midfield. Crowley chips over the top, and it's lost forward by Tommy O'Brien. And he's hurt himself as well, Tommy O'Brien. The All Blacks will get the scrum feed, but Tommy O'Brien's hurt. All Blacks tracking back and putting pressure on. Maybe lucky to get away with obstructions. ARW says, Mighty Williams, my bro. Very nice. Mighty Williams. I might have to steal that one. Scrum down here for the All Blacks. Damian McKenzie's on the field. 16 minutes to play. Can he inject something into this attack? As the scrum sets, a big drive here from the All Blacks, but it's going sideways. Roygaard brings it out. Huge cutout pass, hits Caleb Clark on the chest. He's up outside the 22. Puts the kick in over the top. Clark and McKenzie lead in the chase here as Lowe scurries the kick away into touch. 10 short of halfway. The All Blacks, suddenly, something clicked. Roygaard with the huge pass. Takiaho throws over the back for Caleb Clark. Savia in midfield. The All Blacks starting to gel. Takiaho down the short side. Back into midfield. Holland. McKenzie does well to hold on. Sends it out to Quint Tupaia on the left. A little isolated. Osborne's in illegally, though. It's a penalty advantage. Lakai back down the short side, in towards the ruck. McKenzie onto Holland. Holland goes again. Taken down 30 out in midfield. Still playing under penalty advantage here. Williams out the back for Barrett. Barrett delays the pass for McKenzie. A huge gap opens up. Inside ball for Satiti. And Satiti will score under the post. The All Blacks have opened them up again. $19 points to 13 with the kick to come. And just like that, they've clicked into gear. McKenzie, he could have gone inside or outside to unmarked players. He's gone inside. And a simple conversion for Bodie. 21 points to 13. Suddenly, with 13 minutes to play, the All Blacks have got themselves a little buffer. out of absolutely nowhere, really. I'll tell you what, though, there's still a lot more work to do. And even if they do hold on here today, it's been far from convincing. And they will know that they've got a lot of work to do. Prendergast onto the field. So Jake Crowley with his last play of the game. And Prendergast is on. Gets this back underway. Quint Tupaia with a very authoritative take. And they've knocked it on at the back, the All Blacks. Scrum down here for Ireland on the 22. So invited straight back into the game. Oh, ARW, I will be watching Game 7 of the World Series, mate. Absolutely. I'll be cheering for the Toronto Blue Jays, but my goodness, one has to admire Shohei Ohtani. What a player. Scrum down here for Ireland. 12 minutes left to go. An attacking scrum. Bang on the All Blacks 22. Here's the feed. Casey looking down the short side. Gets the ball out now. Delayed pass for Osborne. Osborne taken inside the 22. Van der Fleer on the crash ball. Artie Savea in over the top, but now he's cleaned out. 10 meters away now, Ireland. Edgy never closer. They've lost the ball. Knocked on at the back of the ruck. And the All Blacks will get the scrum down. He must have got a call there from the TMO. Ten minutes left to play. Can the All Blacks hold on? Roigard, he's been impressive again. I think he's got a claim to that number 9 jersey. The scrum binds and sets. Roigard feeds. Ireland look to put the shove on. It's crabbing sideways. Now it spins. Penalty to the All Blacks. More than happy to let Ireland just wheel that one around. And why not, if they're doing so illegally? Let them turn it. The All Blacks suddenly on top, and it's Ireland who have to play catch-up. Beauden Barrett fails to find touch. He's chewed off a lot of meters, but he fails to find touch. And Osborne returns it to halfway for Ireland. Down the short side, Casey to Prendergast. Fires the intercept ball for Quint Tupaia. And there is that panic I was talking about. Forcing those passes that really aren't on. Mackenzie now. To Takiaho, standing on the back line. Takes it up over halfway. They've come to life, the All Blacks, here in this final 10 minutes. Or the last 10 minutes. Penalty advantage. Mackenzie on to Barrett. Tupaia inside ball. Back to Jordan. Jordan gets up and goes again. Just inside Ireland's half. Artie Savea with the pick and go. Flick pass out the back for Roigard. It's loose out the back. Savea goes into play scrum half. Here's Mackenzie in midfield. Now some space for Satiti down the right flank. Beats the first tackle. Steps back in field. And he's inside the 22. Ireland trapped on the wrong side of the ruck. Holland gets in the way. That ball was intended for the back line. Lakai with the pick and go. 22 out in midfield. All Blacks looking to put the exclamation mark on it. 8 minutes left to play. Fabian Holland with the pick and go. Fresh penalty advantage. Roygaard down the short side. Caleb Clark tracking around the back of the ruck. Now the pick and go from Savia. 15 meters away. Jordan with the basketball pass over the top that beats everybody into touch. And they'll come back for the penalty. Not rolling away. Mr. X, ahoy, mate. 80 minutes in a match, typically. We are 72 and a half into this one. And Ireland have really fallen apart at the back end. Bodie Barrett pops this one into touch, 10 meters out. An attacking line out here for the All Blacks. Over on that left side of the field, they're lined up to the right. Takiaho goes to the middle. Holland brings it down. The rolling maul is set. It's not straight. Another call of not straight. And Ireland will get the scrum. They seemed to be controlling the game so well, Ireland. And then a 5-minute period off a cliff. They've got 6 minutes now to try and run down this 8-point margin when they had this one so firmly in control. And the scrum resets. Referee says we'll have it again. This is just chewing up time. This is not good for Ireland. 5 meters out from their own line. 62,000, the crowd attendance at Soldier Field, Chicago. Now that is a hell of a turnout. Set and feed. Casey looks short side, but brings it back open side for Aki. A loose pass from Aki is spilt by James Lowe, and it has all fallen apart here for Ireland. All Blacks will have the scrum. Well, they have to throw caution to the wind. They're trailing by 8 with 5 minutes left to play, but geez, as much as they do need to play catch-up footy, a little bit of common sense is also required. That was highly ambitious play, 5 meters out from their own line, and they couldn't execute. 21-13, the All Blacks can put this game to bed well and truly now. DJ Shaq, go on, mate. They crouch and bind and set. The All Blacks with a solid scrum. Roygaard dummy steps off the left once, twice. Roygaard scores the match winner. A very fitting end to the game. Cam Roygaard. The All Blacks have been searching for that number 9 ever since Aaron Smith. By God, they've found him. Cam Roygaard coming through again. Stepping off the left boot, not once, but twice. And also selling a dummy. 26 points to 13, and the All Blacks have surely won now. Well, they have. There's not enough time to run this one down. Beauden Barrett lining up the conversion. 5 in from touch. He's taken it back outside the 22. 38 meters on the angle. Barrett moves in, strikes it well, and pushes it past the near upright. And it remains 26 points to 13. So, theoretically, they could still get this one, Ireland. If they score from the kickoff, get the ball back and score again. But it is, of course, highly, highly unlikely. Prendergast gets us back underway. Short restart. All Blacks tap it back. And it's dived on there, the loose ball by Tosi. The All Blacks have it. Ratima's on the field. A well-earned rest for Roigard. And now Ardie Savea with a big drive up outside the 40. Just short of halfway, he goes to ground. 5 in from touch. Ratima tries to dig it out, but there's hands in everywhere and some back chat. Referee marches them 10. Penalty to the All Blacks. The referee's copping no back chat tonight. He marched the All Blacks in the first half, I believe. And now he's marched Ireland in the second. And that's a shocker. Beauden Barrett, a dead set shocker from that penalty. Trying to find touch, he's kicked it dead. And luckily, it's not going to cause any damage. 26-13 with 1 minute left to play. It'll be a scrum down on halfway for Ireland, but great game, great win, says Bantu Kingi. They had to work for it, the All Blacks. As the scrum repacks. "30 seconds left on the clock. The All Blacks, how have they pulled this one off? This is definitely one of those back from the dead moments. They looked down and out in this match. They bind and set. Casey feeds. Sends it out into midfield. Prendergast to Low. Low spills it out the back. And Quinn Tupaia picks it up for the All Blacks. Back in possession. 40 meters out from the line. Savea to Satiti. Savea wraps around. Gives it to Ratima. Ratima now to Leicester. They've got a 4-on-2 left. Ratima keeps going up the middle. Time is up on the clock. Leicester goes into play scrum half. Mackenzie's out the back for Fabian Hollands. Time is up. Do the All Blacks play for more points? Mackenzie, from a standing start, manages to retain possession. Here's Caleb Clark having a crack. Ratima into midfield. Holland pops it up for Satiti. 30 meters out still. Back in midfield here, the All Blacks. Time is up. 26-13. They have won. They've got nothing left to prove, really. Ardie Savea from a standing start puts the fend on Casey. Casey comes back at him. Caleb Clark now down the short side. A little isolated, but it's still there for Ratima. Satiti in midfield. Now Leicester out the back for Holland. Holland taken down. They've lost ground here, the All Blacks. They're back to the 40. Ratima trying to dig it out. The ball's trapped in there. This should be the game. The ball is stuck in the ruck. Radimer can't quite dig it out. Now he gets it. Well, the referee gave them an eternity to get that ball out. Quintupai to Bodie, throws a huge cutout pass, and Lakai standing out on the wing, bumps off one. Goes to ground 5 on island side of halfway. Lord, dummies, takes them on. Jordan in midfield. The double pump to Artie with quick hands to Caleb Clark. Back in field for McKenzie. McKenzie to Lester. And it's called a forward pass. So that will be the game. Well, we thought Leicester had a try. Forward pass, no try. But that is the game. Referee blows the whistle. Full time on this match. And the All Blacks have won 26 points to 13. Somehow they've got the job done. It looked very, very shaky there. Many times it looked very shaky. But the All Blacks getting it done. A man of the match performance by Cam Roigard, surely. What a player. Here's the final play. This ball from Caleb Clark back in field, clearly forward. Well, a huge final quarter of the match from the All Blacks sees them home and secured 26 points to 13. They've pulled the victory out as Artie Savia and Bundy Aki sharing a moment in midfield. And there's James Lowe waiting in the wings. Yeah, so it was far from convincing. Don't let the scoreboard fool you. Far from convincing. But they got the job done. And for the first leg of the tour, that's pretty much all you really need to do. That's all they needed to do was get the job done. And they did. All right, Wasted Water Sports. I've got to go get ready for the baseball. Game 7 of the World Series. It's all come down to this. Dodgers versus Blue Jays. I'm looking forward to it. So, yes, I'll be off to check that out. Thank you so much for your company here on the Wasted Water Sports. We do this every weekend. Well, pretty much every weekend. Whenever games are on. So if you have enjoyed hanging out with me here today, do feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back again for games in the future, that's for sure. Thank you so much. Appreciate your company. As always, All Blacks 26-13 over Ireland. Too strong in the end. Until next time, cheers.